Good morning. Today we're going to start out with one of our newer flower beds. This is the one at the front of the house. This bed is 2 years old, and we added it when we added in the Japanese maple. It has outdone itself. The decision now is whether to do a cutback or to do an expansion to allow these plants a little more room. This is the third blooming on a lot of these plants out here. Tucked in, we've got some butterfly bushes. Stylium, abelia, Agelia still putting off a couple of flowers here or there. Barberry. And we have one surviving mom. There were 3 staggered throughout the front of this bed, but we only have one left, so should have already done a cutback on it, but I didn't, so that we would have some fall blooms. So I gotta get going on that and get it cut back. But yeah, that is a question on this bed, whether or not to expand it 4 feet on each side or to just keep everything cut down. This is only time to cut the grass again. Just cut it 3 days ago. But humidity and rain in the south, you're cutting the grass. So over here in this area, this is what is known as my shade garden. Primarily hosta. Several varieties. A lot of these hostas tired. It's needing to be cut back and retired for the summer. Tired for the year. Having a lot of dieback on this oak leaf hydrangea. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I don't know if it just is something it does or something this one is doing. So I've got to figure out why it's having so much dieback on that far side. There are actually 2 in there. It somehow or another was buried up under the mulch and formed a new one, so I'm just leaving it. Make it look fuller. Got several different varieties of hydrangea in here too. One of them is still in a pot. Undecided whether or not we're going to plant it there. These are some new additions here in the last year or 2. We've added in these hosta here. Got some guacamole, hosta on this side. I still have a couple of the mouse-eating hosta that need to be cut back. They're buried down in there, just about covered by the ferns. taking over the walkway past it. First year it has had blooms. It's been here for 5 years. First year has had blooms on all sides. Most of the time it's either one side or the other. But everybody joined the party this year. Grateful for that. We have caladium out here. I do have some oxytalis buried down in there. This is, I want to say it's a variety plum crazy, maybe, of the heuchera, plum crazy, maybe a proven winner variety. Japanese painted ferns. Pulmonaria. This is a volunteer coleus. We have several hellebores in this bed at the front of it, and their show starts usually around the end of December, beginning of January, and they go all the way through till the summer. That elephant ear has been fateful in coming back because I've pulled it every year, and it always manages to find its way back into this bed. So there it is. We do have several mums in here. These have been cut back along the front. These two have not. Make sure that happens today, so it'll have time to flush back out for the fall. These are actually pots that have the autumn joy in them. Those are pots. This one has a bleeding heart in it, some wire vine. There's a hosta in there, autumn joy. It's a full pot. And we also have some calla lilies out here that are going to be cut back. The spent blooms will be cut back. I try to keep those size controlled and just pull and leave maybe 4 or 5 each year, because I know how much they love to spread. We have some Maconochlora grass out here. Also have some ground cover, the sedum, lemon coral sedum. I'm not sure what this is other than it being a weed, but that was kind of interesting how it was growing. Just want to make sure I catch it before it goes to seed, because I don't want a whole lot of it. We got quite a bit all the way through the front here. It's the only bed I've seen it in, so I'm not sure. Yeah, not sure. But yeah, this is a shade bed. We have some cats that are exterior decorators, and they like to move these pillows around on a daily, so that's why they look like that. This is the front bed. This corner is Undecided. We do have a fat seal in the back corner. We have a 9 bark that is in the struggle, trying to make it some gladiolas that bloom a peach color. So I'm going to add another perennial in that back corner. I'm not sure what yet. Just not sure yet. I do know that I need to trim up these shrubs. We need to go ahead and do some maintenance on the front bed. We have a crepe myrtle in the back that sits between those 2 windows. We have a fringe or lower pedalum that I'm leaving as shrub form. We got Nandina. This is a hibiscus, and it is not happy here. I don't know if it's because it's not getting enough sunlight in this area, but it needs to be relocated. Soft touch holly, more Nandina, different variety. There's a hydrangea in the back corner that was really full this year, and it has defoliated. When it rains, we do not have a gutter system in, so it pretty much just pools back there in the back, and I felt like that would be a great place for that hydrangea, but it also may be creating some more of a fungus problem because it's got spots. I'm not sure if the spots are from sun, which I am not leaning towards that at all, versus it being a fungus, because rarely does the area get sun, and when the sun does come over, the flag kind of shades it out. So this pot had a cutback. It's got a weed right here that I'm calling a weed. Anyway, but it has a mum in it. It also has lantana, and the lantana is what I use for cuttings in this pot to generate more lantana throughout the garden, just to kind of keep it under control. There's also another hydrangea sitting beside it. That was a clearance plant from last year. It could use a little fertilizer, so I'll probably come on out and throw some fertilizer in this bed today. Another Nandina. These black-eyed Susies, I'm going to go ahead and get them cut back, just to clean up this area a little bit and get it off of the hydrangea. This is a little quick fire, not so little, that has taken over this corner of the bed. Lower pedalum in the back side of it, and then hidden back here is a Nandina. I've decided to not pull it out because in the winter time, that is my winter interest for that corner. I also have a rogue pumpkin from our pumpkin display last year. I just put it right down beside the porch, and the pumpkin seeds germinated. So we have a volunteer pumpkin plant back there. Pots on the steps. Didn't do anything to them this year. These are the plants from last year. Haven't added any fluff or puff to them. Should have, but just didn't do anything to the front porch at all, really. Needs some maintenance, needs some love. Again, on this side, everything pretty much repeats itself. Yeah, not as many of the black-eyed Susies on this side, so they're a little bit more behaved. However, the little quick fire is about twice the size as the one on the other side of the porch. So, looking to do some pruning in the fall on that one. This lamppost I've done the ivy around it, and I kind of left the little sprigs because it just looks like a lady all frilly with her little dress on. That was kind of cute, so I just left it. Now this hibiscus on this side looks like it's doing a lot better right now. I'm not sure, but I have got some ground cover around it. I'm not sure if the ajuga is helping it out, helping hold moisture to it, but it does look a lot better right now than it has been looking at the whole season. So I actually put on some new leaves. Don't see any new buds on it yet, but we'll see. This is another Nandina on this side. Again, it creates my winter interest. I have a lower pedalum that stays throughout the winter, and then another variety of Nandina in the back. This wild rogue stem right here is coming from a forsythia that is down in there. So I should have already done a cut back on it because this set its buds for the spring early, so I should have already done that. I have another boxwood that finishes off the back side of this flower bed here. So that is the front bed. Right up against the house, of course, we have another crepe myrtle there. That will definitely have some shaping up, trimming up done to it. Get a couple of those branches out. I just like to keep them till the end because it holds up our Christmas lights, so I like to keep those. This side bed beside the garage, this was a purple and blue hydrangea that's since gone over, got spent blooms on it, but it has put out a ton of new growth and set buds for next year. It is one of the macrophylla, and or big leaf hydrangea. So it's already set buds for next year's blooming. So you have to be very mindful whenever you do decide to come out and do cutbacks or trimmings on that you don't cut off next year's blooms. These roses, I've recently fertilized them because they are looking very not healthy. I think that what I'm going to do is go ahead and do a massive cut back on them, or pruning, and just take them all the way down and just see whatever comes back because I'm just not okay with this look. It's got a lot of weeds in it. The bed needs a lot of attention anyways, so I think we might just give it some. I know that they've got so many fresh buds on it, but this fall I think I want to go ahead and just, after this bloom, just take everything back down. In the front of it, again, we have the hellebores. This is our winter and early spring show. Right across the front here, and we've also got some ajuga coming up on this side of it. Of course, like I said, plenty of weeds. We got jokai weed that has self-sown throughout the entire garden, throughout the entire yard, actually, all over the property. This is a mountain hydrangea that we actually got from the mountains. My daughter went to school up there. We went to visit her one weekend and brought back 2 of these actually from one of the nurseries, Red's Nursery in Wilkesboro. Very nice place, very nice. So this is our side bed that needs some attention, needs some weeding. So it might be on tap for today, just pulling out some of the major weeds, gloving up because it is a very thorny area, just to protect your hands. we'll get in here and see what we can do to make it look a little better. All right, thank you for joining me on our walk through the front yard. Just looking at a few things at the end of summer when everything's all tired. Looking at what needs to be cut back, what we need to address for next year. And filling in some of the empty spaces. Have one there. We have one on the back side of the bed. In that back corner over there, we're looking at putting a perennial over there. I do have a couple more Nandina. That might be an option for over here. The coloring of it would look really nice under this 9 bark if this 9 bark decides to make it. So I'm not sure, but just drop some soil in here to build it up a little bit and just add a little more interest to this back corner here. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Again, thanks for joining.